Here, this is a large potato, and this is what if Luffy ate the Kukan to Jukan devil fruit, meaning space and time devil fruit. So this devil fruit is actually a devil fruit combined together. Now I will mention how this will work. But first, before I go on any further into this what if, go subscribe to my Sensei, Iconic What Ifs, Obito What Ifs, and yeah, I already said Anime Sensei, right? Yeah, links will be in the description. Also, yeah, I didn't get that much sleep last night, so my shit's gonna be forgetting some things. But other than that, before I was caught, go any further. What time is it? Oh, it's like 1:04 or something. But before I go any further, so yeah, so time. Damn, I forgot. Damn, dementia really sucks for me. No, I'm just kidding. But not really. Okay, so let me go into the what if, and I forgot whatever else I was gonna say. But yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to. Shit, I remember now. So you know how I have multiple Luffy what ifs that I need to get them finished, but I need to finish watch the One Piece first. Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to do that. I was watching One Piece like this morning, and then I had it to fall asleep. Kind of. Not really. I just had to take my siblings to school. But this summer, since this summer is going to probably happen, yeah. I am going to definitely try to watch One Piece and like fully try to finish it. Whatever. I think on 200 episode, but whatever. Other than that, let me begin this what if, and yeah. So yeah, this was actually a vote on which what if you would actually like to watch or not watch. Which what if you would actually like to see first on the post that I made. And no, the two Luffy what ifs, I didn't combine them. This is just separate because I had two separate ideas for it. So shit, whatever. So let me begin and actually shut the fuck up. So Luffy, he is of course born. Blah blah blah. We will go all the way into Luffy being 7. So before Luffy was going to meet Shanks or anything, Luffy just walks into the bar, sees Shanks, and of course, instead of like saying hi or anything, Luffy just looked at him and confused. That's where Shanks tried to kind of act like the same in the original canon, but not act, kind of be like in original canon, kind of goofy and other things, and yeah. Of course, this is where Luffy says, "Oh, I want to be a pirate." Shanks says, "Okay." Here's some orange juice. He drinks it, and this is where Shanks starts laughing, and of course, everyone's laughing. This is where Luffy says, "I will become the best pirate. I'll be the Pirate King." Shanks laughs and says, "Huh, really? You become the Pirate King? Oh, please. I would actually love to see that one day." So everyone starts laughing again. Of course, Makino is right now looking at Luffy and saying, "Don't worry, Luffy, you'll be definitely a Pirate King." She believes in Luffy because, yeah, she's that nice. Of course, this is where, the bandits would still come in, and of course the bandits ask for rum or whiskey. I forgot what was that. It was just alcohol or something. This is where he asked for it, and of course Makino says that we're running out. This is where Shanks tried to give him the what's it called, alcohol. This is where the guy grabs it, smashes it over what's it called, Shanks' head, and then threatens Shanks. Well, not even threatens Shanks. He just like laughs at all the bandits laugh at Shanks and all that. And of course Shanks is just right now on the ground and all that. And Makino says, please don't cause any violence. This is where, Makino kind of got afraid when a gun was actually pointed towards her. Shanks was about to do something. Until Luffy, he didn't eat the devil fruit or anything. He still cut himself. Yeah, that would still be the same. He still had that mark and all. But he didn't cut, what's it called? He didn't eat the devil fruit. He saw the Gumma Gumma no Mi, but he already knew what it was since he ate something before seeing that Gumma Gumma no Mi. We go into a little flashback. A flashback of when Luffy was in the forest, kind of running away from monsters and other things, because Garp did throw his ass in there and just says, "Fucking figure it out yourself." Now Luffy was running away, of course, trying to get away from monsters, things and other things. And of course, this is where Luffy, he got trapped under, like a giant tree. And of course, Luffy was crying and hungry, and then he sees something right in the corner of his eye, behind him, mostly, because he was looking around, under this kind of tree. He sees this kind of weird looking fruit. It looked like an apple mostly. An apple with the little, what's it called? It looked like a T on top of it. But instead of being just a normal kind of like brown color, one side was gold and the other side was silver. Now the fruit had kind of like swarms, like swarms and all that. But instead of being any like black swarms or anything gold or anything like that, it was galaxy. It was a galaxy color, multiple stars kind of glittering off the fruit. And then when he looks at the fruit exactly, the inside from the swarms and all that had what's it called, like these clocks around it. That's where Luffy was confused. But when he just got hungry, he was starving, so he eats the fruit. Of course, it tastes really bad. It felt like he was eating like a fucking galaxy or whatever. He just felt really bad. Like his stomach started hurting. Power started just erupting from his eyes, from everywhere. After a while, he calmed down for 3 days. It kind of went for 3 days. It's not just any normal devil fruit, but something much, much more greater. Someone must have created it. Someone or something. Or something or someone must have created it. Or maybe there wasn't one, but just two. He doesn't understand Luffy. So when he woke up, he felt like he knows everything. For some reason, he knew what the giant, what was it called, ball, the fireball that was in the sky. He knew what that is. Sun. He knew with the night coming down, he knew all the stars' names. Red star, blue star, stars. He knew different planets, like Jupiter and everything else. He knew the Milky Way. For some reason, he knew so much information he didn't understand. He knew so many elements. He also knew about time, about backward time, forward time, and even stop time, and present time mostly, and stop time and all that. For some reason, he just knew so much information that he didn't understand. Of course, his eyes did kind of like, when he was younger, did kind of change from a what's called black to like a galaxy color. And one eye had a clock, but then just go back to normal. He doesn't understand. So of course, this is where, well, he started kind of fighting against the monsters and figure out more about his abilities. One ability that he figured out was the fact that he can snap his fingers and stop time. Not just time for himself, but time for others. Legit just stop time for himself so he can move around really fast. But it looks like he's moving really fast, but really he just stopped time in a certain dome. Of course, think of it like, what's it called, the Opponemi. You know how when, Law uses that fruit and all that to kind of switch spots with people? That little dome and all that? Luffy can do the same, but instead he can make the time domain where he can stop everything around him. And if anything goes inside it, like walks inside, they get slower and stop to be frozen in time. So anywhere in that range of dome can be stopped time. He can also touch people to stop their time. Basically stop them aging or make them go backwards and become a baby, or make them go forward and become an old person. His powers are so dangerous, but at the same time so much powerful and potent. This is where, well, he also figured out with his other side, because there's two sides for his devil fruit, time and space. So for the space, he can summon meteors from the sky. He actually only summoned out like a couple small meteors before and smashed them in like the, what's it called, back of a lion's head. But of course he got mad, the lion, and tried to chase Naruto. Or not Naruto, Luffy. And Luffy accidentally summoned out a bigger one, smashing him and crushing him in a million pieces. Basically just splatting the lion. This is where multiple creatures did not want to fuck with Luffy. Seeing the power of Luffy, what he has, like a god. Luffy doesn't understand. But of course he doesn't mind. But we go back into the present time. This is where, well, Luffy says, like, don't point your gun at her. He gets angry. He kind of screams out. This is where the bandit says, oh, and why shouldn't we? This is where Luffy says, because you regret it. This is where, well, Shanks was confused. This kid seems to not understand the situation, so he was about to, like, do something until Luffy sends a powerful, and I mean such a powerful, godly wave of Conqueror's Hawking. This Conqueror's Hawking, instead of being a color of, like, red or something like original canon for Luffy, or gold, it's this galaxy color just erupting from Luffy. This galaxy time color. This is where both of his eyes switches into, well, one being like a star color and the other one being like a time clock color. So if you want to think about his time clock color, it looks like, what's it called, Dark. Okay, if you don't know who Dark is, he is from Hardcore Leveling Warrior. If you have read it, you probably know who this kid is, or person, teenager, really. Dark is a character with Ethan and all that, for Ethan going. He has an ability, well, he got an ability for his kind of, in the game and all that his eye kind of has like this clock thing. Of course, allows him to see into the like future for like a couple of seconds, and then let's think of it like the Sharingan also, but yeah. But of course, it's much more advanced than that. Luffy's eye is so much more advanced. Of course, he's sending us such a godly wave of like Conqueror's Hawking. This Conqueror's Hawking is so godly that it actually started like breaking the ground. Like instead of just knocking them out, like kind of making them fall down, it started making them like go down because of the gravity. Luffy's Conqueror's Hawking is so godly, so powerful, that you actually mistake Luffy for being actually a god. But that's just because Luffy's power is not just a devil fruit of, well, element or a beast or anything, but something much greater. Since if you want to think about it, devil fruits are what's it called, kind of created from a certain element or a certain beast. Think of it like Marcos. Since Marcos' devil fruit is like a phoenix, his must have been like created from a phoenix. Think of what's it called, Kuzan. Yeah, what's it, Kuzan? Yeah, Kuzan the light devil fruit. His devil fruit is created from a light, like a light element into the devil fruit. And think of like the Gamma, well, that's your true name, but think of it like a permeation devil fruit from like Doflamingo. It's made out of strings, which, yeah, was actually kind of had the element in the devil fruit. It's something like that, if I can remember right. But yeah, of course, Luffy's devil fruit is something much greater. It looks like a permeation devil fruit, but at the same time a Logia devil fruit. But it will be in due time. I will explain how it is, because it's gonna be something that, yeah. But of course, this is where Luffy, he senses Conqueror's Hawking, just knocking them all out, but also crushing their bodies because of this godly, like space Conqueror's Hawking. It's not even the time Conqueror's Hawking. He's using space only. He doesn't even know he's using space, but he's using it. And of course, he's crushing the bodies of these bandits. Only the bandits. He actually had used this before, and he always wanted to train it. Like, he always wanted to train other things in his body, because he actually figured out some things that he never shown Garp or anyone. And he never wanted to hurt anyone with his powers. So, of course, he is much smarter than the original canon Luffy. Reason why is because the devil fruit helped his ability to learn faster than normal. So, of course, when he did that, when he looked like he was about to knock out all of them, the other guy with the gun, he was about to, like, he shot out a bullet before kind of getting crushed, and the bullet was going straight towards Makino. This is where Luffy ran so fast. This is where he let go of the Conqueror's Hawking wave, and then appear right in front of Makino. And this is where Luffy says, "No, you don't." This is where Luffy activated, well, activated something called Galaxy Shield. This is a galaxy like shield appear, blocking the bullet and erasing it. Exactly, just erasing the bullet when it touches the Galaxy Shield. That's where Luffy gets rid of the Galaxy Shield really fast, and hoping that no one actually notices it. But then again, he did sense a very powerful Conqueror's Wave, and he does know about the Conqueror's Wave. For some reason, he knows all the knowledge, because galaxy and time. You probably expect that he might be a god in reincarnation, but no, he's not no god. But other than that, Luffy is just saying, "So, hey, Makino, yeah, Makino, yeah, that's her name." She says, "Luffy, Luffy says, hey. Luffy has his kind of eyes already deactivated because he did deactivate them. And this is where Shanks was impressed with this kid, his Conqueror's Hawking, being on another level, only for being 7 years old and already crushing their bodies. Well, mostly the bandits. This is where Makino said, Luffy, do you know what you did? No. Luffy lied. This is where Shanks knew that Luffy lied. He, for some reason, Luffy lied about not knowing what he did. And this is where a bunch of people thought that Shanks was the one to use the Conqueror's way, but it was actually Luffy. Even Shanks' first crewmate, what's it called? Ben. What was his name? Ben? I'm just gonna call him Ben. I can't remember. Right. He actually knew that Shanks didn't actually use that Conqueror's way, but people were just celebrating, saying, "Yeah, Shanks," because yeah. Of course, is where Shanks was confused. He wasn't the one to do it. But people think it was him because they know that Shanks is strong in the 3 Hawkings. Even though he's not a devilfruit user, he was just confused. He was like, "That wasn't me. Why did it feel like it was a devilfruit, but at the same time Hawking?" He then looks at Luffy, and Luffy was just drinking his juice peacefully. This is where Makino says, "Don't do that again, Luffy. Luckily, the pirate helped you. Luckily, he saved us." That's where Luffy says, "I'm sorry, Makino." That's where Makino's like, "Just don't do that. You know your grandfather would be angry if you got a bullet wound." That'd be true. It'd be fine. He probably just think I hurt myself on some branch or something. That's where Makino says, "Luffy." Luffy says, "What?" "I'm drinking juice." This is where Makino says, "Whatever." This is where she grabs Luffy's cheek and says, "So adorable." This is where, Luffy says, "Hey." Well, yeah. This is where Shanks is so impressed with Luffy that seeing Luffy doesn't really want to talk about anything. It's very interesting. He didn't say anything about powers or anything. And this is where Shanks says, "Could it be? Can he really be the Pirate King? At such a young age. Maybe not. Maybe when he's older and gets the bounty." This is where Shanks sits down and say, "Hey, kid, that was pretty amazing. You managed to kind of stand up. You have guts, kid." That's where Luffy says, "Really?" This is where, Shanks says, yeah, you do." That's where Luffy says, "Thanks, man. Thanks, Mr. Red Hair Shanks." This is where Shanks says, "Yeah." That's where Luffy gets out of the bar to go home and all that. To mostly go in the forest because he doesn't live in the in the village, because he does have a little place to kind of live, but he mostly goes into the forest to train. Of course, this is where Shanks says, "Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna go get something from the boat." This is where all of them say, "Yeah, bye, Shanks." They start drinking more and kind of talking and eating. But yeah, this is where Ben kind of whispered to Shanks, saying, "You're going after that kid, aren't you?" This is where Shanks says, "I am." "Also, you're taking that treasure chest. He didn't eat the devilfruit. I noticed that." This is where, Shanks says, "I know. He didn't eat this." Which means he has a devilfruit of its own. This is where Ben says, "Well, good luck, Captain. If you manage to give him that devilfruit, how do you think it will react? If he already has a devilfruit of its own, do you think it will increase his power? Or do you think it would just kill him?" Shanks says, "I will ask him if he wants it. Besides, you know how the government is with this devilfruit. If they find the truth about the devilfruit, it'd be bad. Luckily, it's just in a coded name called the Gumma Gumma no Mi." This is where, Ben says, "Well, good luck, Captain, if you can find the kid. I barely can sense him right now with my observation hawking. He looks like he's going to the forest." Shanks says, "Yeah, I know." Shanks walks away. Of course, they take the chest with him and starts looking for Luffy. Luffy is right now in the, forest, kind of training. But this is where, Shanks managed to find Luffy in the forest. And of course, Luffy is right now just punching a tree and all that. And of course, there's animals kind of clapping for him because they all kind of like Luffy and all that. Because Luffy has been very kind and very nice to people. And mostly animals also. That Luffy wanted to practice something real fast. before going towards like his own hut in like the forest, because he made his own hut just to sleep. That's where Luffy, he concentrated on his arm, breathing out and in at the same time. This is where, well, Shanks was confused. Huh? What is he doing? This is where Luffy, his hand was coated into a black color. This is where Shanks wanted his eyes, armament hawking. But then it started changing. This kind of rainbowish color started going on to like a wave of like an aura appearing on Luffy. Advanced armament hawking. This is where Shanks wanted his eyes. Advanced. Normal and advanced armament hawking. But this is where it changed even further. A galaxy color started appearing around Luffy's arm, like a galaxy aura. Luffy was adding his galaxy ability into the hawking. For some reason, he already knows the 3 types of hawking and already knows the advanced types. But he just wanted to train this. That's where he does added it in it. Added in the what's it called, space ability into his arm. And this is where he punches a tree. This is where he hits the tree once, and this is where the tree shatters into a million pieces. This is where it gets cracked once, like he punches once, and it looks like it didn't do anything. But this is where Luffy kind of lets go of his arm, but this is where cracks are appearing, shattering the tree into a million pieces, and then just blasting it into a million pieces. Then it just disappears into nothing but ash. This is where, well, Luffy says, that's strong, but I'm still too weak to fully master it, since I'm too much of a kid. This is where Shanks, whoa, kid, that was interesting. Shanks comes out from the forest. Luffy goes, huh? What the? You again, pirate. Why are you looking at me? This is where, well, the animals gets ready because they get on guard for Shanks. And Shanks noticed that the animals are trying to protect Luffy. And Shanks says, whoa, 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 don't hurt me. This is where Luffy says his hand up, and this is where the animal stands down. This is where, well, Shanks says, that was interesting, kid. Very interesting. Your, well, how should I say, that ability is so interesting. You do know what it is, right? Luffy says, no, I don't know what it is. It's just something that comes natural. This is where Shanks says, don't lie to me, kid. I'm not dumb. My other crewmates might be a little, well, too, what's it called? How should I say? Not dumb, I will say, but a little too excited for me because I'm strong for being for not being a warrior, for being a Yonko. But I'm not some little kid. This is where Luffy says, what do you mean? I'm just a little kid. I don't know what you're talking about. Shanks says, I do know what you have. 3 types of hawking. Maybe you have organization hawking. Maybe you weren't using it right now. But that was armament hawking. And the hawking that he used against the bandits was conqueror's hawking. Such a very potent, powerful conqueror's hawking. This is where Luffy says, huh? I don't know what is conqueror's hawking. Shanks says, I know you're not that dumb, Luffy. I know you're definitely hiding things. Don't hide things away from me. This is where Luffy says, fine, what do you want exactly? He kind of changed his personality. This is where, well, Shanks says, see, I knew you were hiding things. But I'm not here to annoy you. I'm here to give you something. Luffy says, what is it? That's where Shanks says, here, this treasure chest. Luffy says, what the hell is this? This is where when he opens it, he just sees this purple looking fruit. The same fruit that he saw and knew that it would be bad for him to eat it, because he already ate a devil fruit, and he already knows what his own devil fruit is. That's where Luffy says, what? This is where Shanks says, oh, you probably looks from your face, you probably already know what it is. It's a devil fruit. Something that I already ate. This is where Shanks says, yeah. And I want to give you this devil fruit. That's where Luffy kind of widened one of his eyebrows, kind of being confused. That's where, well, Shanks says, well, don't worry, kid. You will have 2 devil fruits now, or 3. I don't know. But it will be 2 devil fruits. One is called a Gama Gama no Mi, and the other one is your whatever devil fruit you just ate. Which you don't mind telling me, right? Luffy doesn't fully trust his Shanks. This is where, well, Luffy says, no. This is where Luffy says, If I eat this devil fruit, I feel like you're gonna trick me to make you tell you what my devil fruit is. This is where, well, Shanks says, I wouldn't. Come on, eat the devil fruit. This is where Luffy says, I feel like this is a bad idea. This is where the Shanks says, no, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Luffy keeps looking at the devil fruit. For some reason, it has this golden energy just coming off of it. He's using Authorization Hawking right now. And of course, just to see if there's any trick or anyone around him. Maybe trying to kill him. This is where, well, he sees a golden aura. A golden but also white aura around this devil fruit. He doesn't know why. But he doesn't want to eat it, but at the same time does. Just to wonder what it is exactly. This is where, well, Shanks says, come on, eat the devil fruit. Come on. This is where Luffy was confused. He doesn't really want to eat the devil fruit. He already has a very powerful devil fruit his own, but Shanks is really wanting him to eat it for some reason. Shanks has a kind of motive for Luffy to eat it. That's where Luffy says, what is it actually really called? I feel like you're lying to me. This is where Shanks says, it's just called a Gumma Gumma no Mi. I just want to know if people can eat 2 devil fruits. What will happen if they eat 2 devil fruits in fact? Well, they would die. This is where Luffy kind of widens his eyes. This is where Luffy kind of gives him back the chest and says no. That's where Shanks says, come on, kid. You have such a strong will. You'll probably be able to manage to contain both of them. That's where Luffy says, what is wrong with you exactly? You're trying to feed a devil fruit to a kid. You know, if my grandfather does hear about this, he'll probably try to kill you. Your grandfather? Who is he? Let me guess. It might be one of the villagers. No, his name is Garp. Monkey D. Garp. One of the animals, I think so. I don't really care what it is. But I just want to be a pirate on my own power. This is where, well, Shanks' sweat dropped after hearing that name. Garp. One of the strongest Marines out there. Someone that even captured Goldie Roger. Even though Goldie Roger was kind of sick at that time. This is where, well, Shanks says, oh, so that's why your name seems familiar to me. But kid, what if I accidentally make you eat the fruit? This is where, well, Luffy narrowed his eyes, wondering what are you talking about. This is where Shanks says, I'm just kidding. I would never force you to eat this devil fruit. This is where Luffy said, okay. This is where Shanks says, yeah, I would never make you eat this devil fruit, but I want to know one thing. Is it really your dream to be a pirate king, or was it to be a marine? Luffy says, to be a pirate, I want to be free. I don't want to be trapped in order along blah 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 by, I don't know, noble people or whatever bullshit. Shanks says, then this devil fruit might be able to help you. It's really, how should I say, you will have to find out when you're older, because probably when you're younger you probably won't even know what this is. But I'm willing to give it to you for free. Nothing changed, nothing at all. Luffy says, let me see both of your arms then. That's where Shanks says, okay. He just has both of his arms out and just gives the devil fruit to Luffy. And Luffy says, fine, I'll eat it. He's eating it, and of course it tastes just so bad. Just like the space one, but the space one for some reason had a sweet taste to it. This one just tasted really bad. He was like, okay, I guess nothing is happening. Azura Shanks is amazed with Luffy until something happened to Luffy. Luffy kind of clutches his chest. This is where Shanks now widens his eyes. This is where he realized that it was a terrible mistake to give Luffy this devil fruit. Luffy's falling down to the ground, and this is where all animals just gets ready to attack Shanks. This is where Luffy's clutching his chest. He's like, inside him. We go inside, well, Luffy. Luffy is right now struggling, but not struggling himself. 2 beings and 1 unknown mysterious entity with a white glow and like glowish cloud hair. It's kind of clashing with two beings. This is where, well, the two beings are kind of using, one is using space while the other one is using time blast to attack this entity. The other entity is kind of using, well, stretching. This is where all their attacks are kind of attacking each other until something appeared right in between them. A wall of hawking. Like a wall of mental hawking. A mental, like, disconnection from both of them. From both, not both entities, but from both separate groups. This is where, well, the other one that was kind of white and was kind of having like cloudish hair is kind of confused, but this is where he settles down and just lays there. This is where, well, the other two settles down also and doesn't actually, well, cause trouble. Of course, this is where, well, Luffy, he stops kind of like coughing. Not coughing blood, just spit a little bit. But this is where he calms down and just passes out. This is where the animals gets ready to attack Shanks. With full fury, thinking that Shanks did something to Luffy and poison him or something like that. They all gets ready. The gorilla tries to punch at, well, Shanks. Shanks widens his eyes and then uses, well, Conqueror Spirit. Right now, sending all the animals back to being scared. This is where Shanks grabs Luffy. But before even able to grab Luffy, a snake appears. But this wasn't a large snake, it was just multiple small snakes rushing towards Shanks. Shanks notices and of course did pull out his sword. But before even doing that, Luffy grabbed onto his legs. No, please. Shanks decides to put his sword back and then actually kill these snakes. Instead, Luffy tries to get up. Tries to just push himself up. That's where Luffy is feeling weakened. Like if two beings, or should I say three beings, were fighting inside him. Now, of course, is where, well, Luffy just says, I don't know what was that. But at least I'm not dead. This is where Shanks says, yeah, you're not dead. So, since you're not dead, how do you feel? Tired, Luffy said. This is where Shanks says, oh, okay. Do you feel much powerful or stronger? Luffy says, I don't fucking know. That's where Luffy gets angry and just throws a punch at Shanks. Of course, he stretches now. He's able to stretch and almost hits Shanks. Shanks dodges the punch and says, whoa, kid, calm down. Luffy says, what the? Did I just stretch? This is where Shanks says, you sure did, kid. You sure did. So, kid, how interesting is it now? Luffy says, so that's what the coming on me. What is exactly? Luffy said. Permission type. I feel like you're bullshitting me or something. This is where Shanks says, no, I'm not. This is where Luffy says, if you're bullshitting me in the near future, when I become a certain age to become a pirate and get a bounty high in the near future, I swear to God, I'm going to fucking kill you. Shanks says, well, good luck with that because I'm a Yonko level. This is where Luffy says, okay, fine, I can't kill you, so I'd rather date your daughter. If you do even have a daughter. This is where Shanks says, no, I don't have a daughter. Luffy says, what was that lack of saying no? I feel like you do. What is her name? This is where Shanks says, I'm not gonna fucking tell you. This is where Luffy says, okay, fine. Just for this, if I do somehow die in the near future, I'm going to marry your daughter before I die. This is where Shanks says, you motherfucker. Luffy kind of starts running towards his hut and just closes the door. This is where, well, Shanks says, kid is so funny. Well, I hope you are a strong kid in the near future. I hope you be able to be strong enough. But I don't like you how you try to, well, I should say, do odd things, you fucking brat. Luffy says, fuck you. And now he passes out. For some reason, Luffy already knew cuss words and all that because of, well, he is somewhat incarnated of someone or something, or some who exactly. This is where, well, we go into, well, Luffy in the time skip. Luffy is now, well, just going with Garp, and Garp is kind of just bringing him towards the bandits. And Luffy says, so why couldn't I just stay in the forest? Garp says, no, because you need to be watch over. I'm not going to be letting you be anywhere near the pirates, the straw, well, not straw hats. Luffy does have with a straw hat. I keep saying Naruto, but it's Luffy. But of course, it's where Shanks still gave it to him before going away. And of course, Garp says, I'm not going to be letting you be anywhere near that redhead. This is where Luffy says, wow, okay. This is where Garp says, okay, now we're here. Luffy didn't struggle or anything. This is where, well, Garp says, okay. He started talking to the bandits until Spit almost hit Luffy. But Luffy, with his, eye, he activated this time eye, just in case any attack was going to happen. Like, he always had this instant to always activate it. He activated and sees into the future like a Spit attack about to hit him. Luffy dodges in an extra, minute before the Spit even attacked him. And Luffy appeared right in front of Ace. Right now coated with armament Hawking. This is where, Ace widened his eyes. This is where Garp, when he turns around, he sees the punch so close to Ace's face. This is where Garp says, Luffy, no! He appeared right in front of Ace, and the punch does hit Garp in the stomach. You little brat! This is where Luffy says, don't spit on me. This is where Luffy's eyes were darkened because of his hair. So, of course, this is where Garp says, don't attack him, you little brat. And for Luffy says, why not, shouldn't I? He attacked me first. I should be the one to attack and defend myself. Garp says, come on, Luffy, just get along with him. Luffy looks at him and just grumbles, saying, fuck no. This is where, well, Garp says, okay. Luffy then just gets his kind of arm taken by Garp to get near the bandits. And this is where, well, Garp is just talking more, and this is where Ace was widening his eyes. This is where, well, Garp was about to leave until he kind of tells Luffy to not attack Ace like that. Just in case he's your older brother, Luffy, you shouldn't attack your older brother like that. Luffy looks at Garp and says, fuck you, he's not my older brother. This is where Garp sighs and says, don't cuss, you little brat. Also, you're gonna stay here and shut up, okay? I don't care if you don't like him or not. He's gonna be your older brother, and so take care of him or something. Luffy looks at him. This is where Luffy just says, fine, whatever, grumbles around. This is where Garp nodded and then just walked away. This is where Luffy says, fucking old bastard. Luffy starts walking away towards another place, while Ace went the opposite from Luffy. Of course, this is where, well, Luffy is just, calm. Looking at, well, he just goes and just trains by himself. So, we go into a time skip of Luffy kind of deciding to follow Ace. One day, just because, yeah. This is where, well, Ace still meets Sabo, and Luffy is kind of just spying on them mostly. Not really jumping out and kind of saying, yeah, hello, or anything like that. Instead, he is just looking at them from a far distance until pirates appear and saw Ace and Sabo. Now, this is where Luffy, he stopped time by just snapping his finger. And of course, this is where before the pirate attacked Sabo and Ace and Sabo could not even jump because they're also frozen in time. Luffy appeared, and Luffy, he found out something that he's able to create a sword. But not just any sword, a galaxy sword. This is where, well, this sword looked like this. It looked like that. This is where, well, Luffy, creates it, and of course, he cuts down, the pirates, and kind of just sits there and lets time flow again. Think of it like Zawarzo. He kind of just, Zawarzo! No, not really. But yeah, it's like that. Of course, this is where, well, he just sits there, and of course his sword disappears. But this is where Luffy says, yo, you two are okay or something? This is where someone Ace looks down and then sees just Luffy just on top of the three, well, kind of pirates. not 3 pirates, mostly the bodies of the pirates. This is where, well, Sabo says, "Who the hell are you?" Luffy says, "Luffy." This is where Sabo says, "Oh, okay. Hi, Luffy. Can you go away?" This is where Luffy says, "Wow, okay, for saving you, you sure are such an pricks about it." This is where Sabo says, "Okay, what do you want me to say?" This is where Ace kind of grabs his mouth and says, "Don't say anything to him. Little brat's always annoying me." "Annoying you? Weren't you the one to try to attack me first? Then I tried to kick your ass, and then if it wasn't for my grandfather, I would have punched the shit out of you. Probably break a couple of teeth." This is where Ace gets annoyed, jumps down, has his kind of middle of a pipe, and gets ready to fight Luffy. Luffy gets annoyed also and was about to start fighting against what's called Ace. Until Sabo manages to jump down and says, "Wait, calm down, both of you. Ace, come on. Besides, look what he did. He managed to save us from some pirates. We should at least let him be in, right?" That's where Ace says, "Fine." Luffy says, "Okay." So, of course, this is where we go into a time skip. Luffy and Ace didn't really get along at first, but of course, more and more when they start stealing and robbing and all that, they got more along. Of course, this is where Sabo still misses his father. Of course, the father says, "Sabo." This is where Ace and Luffy did ask Sabo and what the hell that was. Sabo admitted that he's from a noble family, but he was drowning out in the freaking, well, what's it called, in the noble family, just being drowned because of how much responsibility and bullshit there is. So, of course, he ran away. That's where Luffy and, well, Ace does get along, and does tell Sabo that they will be brothers forever, and all of them cheer, saying, "Yeah!" But, yeah. Of course, we go into a time skip. Of course, the Blue Jade pirates will still be able to capture Ace, Luffy, and Sabo, until Luffy saw Sabo being taken. That's where Luffy says, "No, you won't take him, my brother." This is where he never thought he was going to say brother like that. And of course, he sent such a massive amount of so potent, such godly power of Conqueror's talking. Nothing like that was ever sent before. This is where the Conqueror's talking didn't just felt throughout the island. It also was felt through other islands. Someone that was what's it called on an island that was what's it called kind of just raiding it, and of course making an orange-haired girl kind of work for him and creating maps felt the Conqueror's talking. Everywhere in the East Blue felt this kind of amount of powerful Conqueror's talking. They all thought they were about to get destroyed by a god. This is where, well, everyone felt it, and some people started passing out. In different islands, they started passing out. Even people like Marines that were kind of selling around the what's called East Blue just felt it and they passed out. They couldn't stand up against his Conqueror's talking. This is where Luffy breaks out mostly not Conqueror's talking, breaks out the ropes and rushes towards multiple pirates, cutting them down with his galaxy sword. This is where, well, Ace was not affected, not even Sabo, but anywhere around him that pissed off Luffy was affected. Except for some people that were kind of near the island, like in the other side, kind of like the small village and all that. That was what's called Makino at. Makino wasn't affected, neither did the old man. Some people in the village were affected. This is where the bandits felt that. But yeah. Of course, some bandits started falling out and passing out. But yeah. This is where, well, Luffy then just looks at the captain and says, "Die!" Stabbed him right into the heart, killing him. This is where, well, after killing him, he looks at Sabo's father. Now, Sabo's father was weakened to the legs. Well, kind of weakened. This is where he almost passes out. This is where he sees Luffy rushing at him with a blinding rage in his eyes. This is where Sabo says, "Luffy, no!" Luffy cuts his head off, clean off. This is where Luffy says, "Die!" This is where, well, something happened in the sky. Even after what's called Luffy sending what's called a powerful wave of Conqueror talking, something happened in the sky. Multiple small orange balls started falling from the sky, but these were meteors. What's called meteors and other things. Just small meteors going straight towards some islands, smashing into some islands. This is where also they smashed into a pirate ship and also into a marine ship. And Jake thought they were getting attacked from the sky, from a god's wrath. Pretty much, Luffy is just, well, too strong right now. And it's right now losing control. This is when Luffy passes out, and of course the meteor shower stopped. And this is where, Luffy's Conqueror Hawking was active while he was fighting. He was just in blind rage. So of course this is where, after Luffy kind of doing that, Luffy kind of passes out, and the next day wakes up. This is where Garp does come and does tell Luffy that he had a bounty over, 50 million. The reason why is because of the fact that they still can't point who was the one to use such a powerful wave of Conqueror Hawking. Well, not 50 million, it was like, what's it called, 30 million, because he killed Pirate and also Noble. But of course, they couldn't point who was the one with that powerful Conqueror Hawking and able to send meteors down from the sky. But of course, Garp was pissed the fact that Luffy has a 30 million for being only damn 7 years old. This is where he screams at Ace and Sabo, but this is where they say pirates are attacking, so what else would they gonna do? But yeah, Garp nodded and says whatever. Just don't do that shit again, Luffy. Now we go fast forward, and Luffy and Sabo and Ace, Ace is saying bye to Sabo, and Sabo is leaving. And this is where Sabo is leaving on a small boat. This is where a Celestial Dragon still attacks Sabo's boat. And this is where Luffy says, Sabo, you bastard. This is where Luffy sends such a very, and I mean a very killer intent. This is where, instead of sending Conqueror Hawking, this is where he sends a meteor, a huge ass meteor from the sky, smashing into the boat of the Celestial. And this is when the meteor hits the boat and just exploded, killing all the members in the Celestial Dragon boat, killing even the Celestial Dragon. This is where Luffy saw Sabo. This is where Luffy, he kind of jumps towards the car, jumps all the way towards Sabo, even though he can't swim. And this is where he managed to grab Sabo using his stretchy arm. Of course, he was weakened by the water, but he managed to pull him up and kind of throw him towards the island. This is where Luffy was about to fall into the water, and this is where Luffy says, "Fuck, I'm about to die. Damn, gonna die by water. That sucks." And this is where something happened in his eye. Reverse time. This is where, not reverse time. It was just reverse time. He just thought of something like that. This is where he does it, and this is where, a small time clock around him appeared, and this is where it reversed him from the point he kind of jumped before to get Sabo. And of course, Sabo was next to Ace, and Luffy was next to Ace, and this is where Luffy says, okay, that's interesting. I finally learned another ability. That's interesting. But yeah, this is where, everyone is shocked. They all thought that just a huge unlucky mistake for the Celestial Dragon just got hit by a meteor, but okay. None of them really complained, but yeah. Of course, we go into a time skip because, no one knows who the fuck hit the meteor. And of course, this is where Luffy still has that 30 million. But of course, with that happening, they still see Luffy kind of have a coming on me, so they also kind of raise up Luffy's bounty a little bit more with 42 million. But of course, we go into a time skip of both Sabo and Ace being 17. They're already leaving, and of course, they're telling Luffy, bye, we will see you in the sea and all that. And Luffy does wave bye to them. Of course, this is where Luffy is 14 while they're 17 and they're leaving. Of course, this is where Luffy's bounty is now at, 82 million. Because he has been beating the shit out of, so many bounty hunters. But yeah. Now, of course, we go into another time skip. Luffy is now 3 years old. His hair actually did change a little bit. It's kind of bluish a little bit blue, and has sparks around his hair. That's because of the galaxy devilfruit, and even the kind of space and time devilfruit. That's what it is. Of course, this is where Luffy's hair is just that changed a little bit, but yeah. Of course, this is where Luffy is kind of waving bye to everyone, and everyone is saying bye, Luffy. Yeah, since Luffy is now 17, and Luffy is now taking one step into becoming the Pirate King. But this is where I'm gonna leave it off for part 1 of What If Luffy ate the basically the space and the thyme devilfruit. But yeah. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and potato. Yeah, bye bye.